Hello and welcome to the podcast. Another week, another podcast. This one is old school. This is a solo one with me. And in classic form, I've already I've already recorded one that fucking stopped halfway through, and I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. Anyway, it's good for this because it'll mean I won't say the stuff that was stupid in the last one, and I would have had to edit out anyway. Before I go on, thanks very much for the messages again. Niall's podcast was great crack and well received. And this week on the Patreon, you will get early access to a chat that I did yesterday with Rosie Holt, who you will know as she does sketches online where she plays someone called the Woman or the MP. She does like satire very well in a sort of a world at the minute where I think there's not loads of it. Also, she's an actor who was in Bridget Jones, and I forgot about that. What a fucking idiot. Literally, I forgot she was in a massive movie. Had said goodbye, had done his bit, and I was like, oh fuck, wait, because I was like, oh, you doing any acting? And I was like, wait, act? Oh fuck yeah, you were in a giant movie, weren't you? Oh, so stupid. But we talk about sort of the nature of satire and what it's like to be in the political realm at the minute. She gets confused for a real politician all the time, which kind of tells you where we're at. But anyway, that's good crack. So that'll be on the Patreon early, and then will be on the main feed later. What else is it? I'm just back from doing a few gigs with Neil Delamere. That is great crack. As always, you'll know, I mean, I've talked about him on here. You know him from like every TV show basically that does comedy. Neil, I think, has the record for the most amount of answers in the chase. He's the smartest man that I've ever met. And we did some nice gigs. It was funny. We did one in a place called Chorley on Saturday night, and I'd never been to Chorley before, didn't know anything about it. And so whenever I do that, whenever I go somewhere that I've not been before, I always do a bit of research, do a bit of Googling, and see what's the vibe. And the vibe in Chorley was that it would have been very hard to get white and red paint at the minute because them roundabouts are getting done up. That was the vibe. I was like, oh no. But then, I mean, I suppose when you're doing gigs with Neil, it's like self-selecting of the people who are painting roundabouts and shouting at hotels probably aren't going to see an Irish comedian that night. But also on Saturday was Tommy Robinson's march in London. So anybody who, you know, would have been there with flecks of paint on their jeans were in London instead, peeing in alleyways and doing coke. No, it was, I mean, that was terrifying to watch, that amount of people marching. But what I will say is I quite enjoyed that. In the morning it was very peaceful, as those things are, and then as the afternoon got on, the videos started to come back of people just beating the fuck out of police and everything, and basically not getting arrested at all because they don't support Palestine. I think that's correct. I might be mistaken. So if you're coked up punching policemen and you've got a bulldog tattoo, that's good. If you have a sign saying you support action in Palestine or action against plasticine, then you will be arrested regardless of being a 80-year-old GP. Or terrorist as I believe they're called now. Anyway, it was funny, I watched some of that stuff on the march. You know what I can't get my head around with this stuff is like the sneaking in the last few years here of a kind of bizarre commentary from these people about this being a Christian country. This weird, I wouldn't even say a dog whistle. It is like, just say it's anti-Muslim. Like, that is what it is. They're not going to say that, but they keep saying this thing about a Christian country, and I mean, I don't think a lot of them look like they've been to mass. Like, I don't think that they're in the church every Sunday in their best by the look of them. Maybe I'm misjudging, but I think they lend themselves towards a very flexible view on Christianity, especially when the leaders of it, I mean, so the leaders are Tommy Robinson, convicted of assault multiple times, of fraud multiple times. Ant Milton, currently flogging crypto, also sketchy history. Who else is there? Lawrence Fox, been through the courts multiple times. Who else is knocking about? But there's basically like all of these people here, like, yeah, we're Christian. Dave Chappelle used to have a joke about just because you say you're in the Wu-Tang Clan doesn't mean that you're in the Wu-Tang Clan. And that's what I think about when I see those guys. It's like they might as well be going Wu-Tang. Anyway, fucking. And even I seen an interview with Tommy Robinson after, and he said this is the biggest protest in the history of Great Britain. And like, just that alone, it was massive. Like, it was massive. It was scarily big. But 1 million people marched against the Iraq war here. We've had bigger marches than that. Anyway, fuck them. What it meant basically was that the gig in Chorley was nice. Really nice venue, and the people were lovely there. They had the green room kitted out with more snacks and drinks than anything I've ever seen before. I put a photo up on Instagram of it, and like 4 comedians messaged and was like, how's the green room? Because that's like, apparently it's a notorious venue for just sending you away laden with snacks. That was great. And then, so that was a Saturday. Sunday was a Liverpool. We were at Liverpool New Hot Water Comedy Club, which I'd never been before, and was great. I mean, a gig in Liverpool, if you're Irish, is as easy as it gets, I think. Like, you're so on the same wavelength. It was class. I really enjoyed that. So that was, good time with Neil, and I'm back in the road with him again soon. So that's really fun. Where else was happening? And I did a thing I've never done before. The week before last, I did warm up for a TV show, which was really interesting. So, and it was actually for the BBC New Comedy Awards, which was really cool. Because those New Comedy Awards. So that's where basically I think you have to basically have not been paid properly for a gig. Like, you can't be a professional comedian, but you have some level in it. And they weed out people who are terrible, and then they have a TV show where like these guys go on, and it's a competition. And it was really exciting. It was good. It was nice to see it, and I knew a couple of people in it, which was cool. One year I remember I got a rejection letter from it, and I hadn't even entered. That was really like, hey, just in case you're thinking of entering, fucking don't. Like, I had entered the year before, and then the next year they were like, here, not this time, player. So that was good. But it was weird, you do this gig, and I was kind of nervous. I'd never done it before. I didn't want to mess it up, but I was lucky when I got there because Sarah Keyworth was hosting the show, and Sarah is someone that I really love, and like, they're a great comic anyway, and we gig together a lot whenever we first started out, but I haven't seen them in a long time. We went for dinner whenever we were on the road with Vittorio last year. It just happened that Sarah, us, and Pierre Novelli were all in Glasgow at the same time, so we went for dinner, and that was really fun. And so Sarah was great, and it was so nice to see a friendly face. And the judges on the night were Lindsay Santoro, who I had heard about but never met before. She was really lovely as well, resound. Ori Styla, who's class, and you'll know him from fucking everything as well, Instagram, the whole thing. Ori's great crack. and Fatia El Ghori, who I'd not met before, but I was a big fan of. She did Taskmaster, which is what I think everyone knows her for. But I seen her. She did a short on the BBC called Donkey earlier this year, and it's so good. It's still on the iPlayer. You can watch it, and I love her, and she's so ballsy and fun, and I think it's funny, like, this march, and we're talking a lot. Jen and I are talking a lot at the minute about like a positive version of Englishness, right? So Jenna, from meeting me and stuff, like, has seen an Irishness that I think we are. I mean, maybe to the point of sickening at times. It is true. Positive about our country, and we promote positive aspects. There's obviously a minority of people at the minute who are Tommy Robinson wearing fucking idiots, Conor McGregor supporting dickheads. A delight. A delight. That was the other thing yesterday. Conor McGregor dropped out of the presidential race. Oh no. Oh no. He's what? I can't believe it. He's not going to run for president? Fuck me. Oh, I'm glad it's over for now, but I would bet everything that I own that guy is going to be stood on a stage with Tommy Robinson in the next 6 months talking absolute shit. Absolute shit. But great to see him take another loss, as it always is. Has anyone taken as many losses in a row as Conor McGregor in recent history? Like, in general, like in life, like, loses UFC, loses boxing, movies, done, acting, terrible. He makes me look compelling. So bad. Shite beer, nightmare. Oh, awful. Lost the court case, thank Christ. So now you can say he's a rapist. Poppy wearing rapist, Conor McGregor. Fuck, I hate that guy, which is a mad turnaround because I used to love him. Whenever we first started, I was still doing MMA when he was on the up, and like, everyone talked about him, and it was so exciting to have an Irish fighter. He was calling people out, knocking them out. He was amazing. But it just goes to show that being punched in the head repeatedly for years does not necessarily end with you having a coherent thought in your head. Like, it turns out if you get slapped around by trained killers for years, you having a cogent brain. Oh my god, what a dickhead. Anyway, fucking, what was it? Fatia. Yeah. So Jen and I we talk about, like, that Ireland is we have a positive outlook in a lot of things. Like, we promote poetry and we promote music, and there's things that we can be proud of. You see stuff and you're like, great. And England just doesn't have that. And then when you see, like, someone like Fatia, you're like, that is like a perfect example to me of, like, this is what England can be proud of. Fatia wears a hijab and is hilarious and has broken so many barriers and is on TV, and she's charismatic, and she is had a life that I can't even imagine how tough it was. As she's talked about it, she's was married and divorced twice, ended up homeless for a time, and she overcame all of that, and has made this exceptional career. And, like, as a country, you should be so proud of her. But she has to fucking watch herself because so many people go at her in the streets because she wears a hijab. Oh, it makes me fucking sick. And it was funny because, like, when we were leaving the gig, she has to worry about her safety. She has to actually legitimately be concerned about her safety. And so we were trying to organize the thing, and she was saying, that she was nervous, especially in train stations at night, obviously, as you will be. I think, like, women in general especially, but, like, especially when you're, you wear the hijab, like, she was like, people give her shit all the time. And, like, I was like, I'm long overdue booting someone in the head. I've been stretching, I've been doing yoga. I'm like, I was like, like this would be quite a fun story, you know. I was like, so it'll be fun. Like, I'm not Jack Reacher, but I'm sure. I was like, I am positive that I can take enough punches to get to like have her get time to get away. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But we get out of the cab, and I mean, within 30 seconds, we're walking up in like a car park, in a covered car park in Birmingham New Street station, and next thing, literally hear this running, and like, and he's like, "Oh, oh, oh!" I was like, "You are joking!" Like, I couldn't believe that it was happening so fast. And I turned around, and this guy was like, "Are you Fateh? I'm such a big fan, and I can't believe we love watching you. And my wife is such a huge fan; she's gonna be so jealous. Like, would you mind if I can get a photo?" And like, it was so cute. It was so cute. It was such a buzz, and we went in the station. The same thing happened. So I think he was like security or something, and like so many people were looking at her, and a couple of people came over and got a photo, and I was like, "That's what you should be proud of, you fucking idiots, not your stupid flag." Um. Anyway, fuck them. So, I mean, it was big politics. I mean, look, the fucking Charlie Kirk thing, you know, last week. What the fuck? He's right. Here's how I found out about that, right? About that murder. And look, as if it needs to be said, murdering someone for what they say is a disgrace. It's a disgrace on humanity to do that to someone. And I find that guy abhorrent. He was a disgusting racist, Charlie Kirk. But he fucking debated people at least, you know? Like, go and do it then. Fucking debate the guy with his weird head. Like, debate him. Like, go and... He can't... Anyway, oh. It's nightmares to do that to someone. And we've seen it over and over again. You know, they killed those Democratic politicians. Obviously, no one gave a fuck. Nancy Pelosi's husband gets attacked by a hammer. Donald Trump Jr. does a joke about wearing the outfit, a hammer as a Halloween, a grotesque. But this is how I found out about Charlie Kirk, right? I was on Twitter, and I use Twitter. Basically, my Twitter now is like football chat, wrestling chat, arguing with Graham Lennon. That's it. and other idiots. But I was scrolling, and I was looking at football chat, whatever, and then the video came up of him being murdered, and I didn't even know I didn't know it had happened. I didn't know what I was even looking at. It looked like, you know, at the minute there's loads of videos of like people videoing Spider-Man that's being filmed in Glasgow. It kind of looked like that. You know, I was like, what am I watching here? And then you see it, and you're like, this is fucking crazy that is just on my feet. Like, how do you have to do a selfie, send your email, get a pin and everything to watch porn now? But you can watch a man get his fucking head blown off when you're looking to see if Alexander Isak's not injured for the match. Oh my God. It's so weird. And the people on there are so weird. There's just seen a guy post, and he was like, they'll never let us see that from this angle, because there was a camera like right in front of Charlie Kirk videoing it, so not the one that everyone else. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you that you want to see that? Like, these people are completely gone. They're completely unraveled. And all the armchair experts too, you know, that came out straight away were like, well, to make this kind of a shot, you have to be an expert marksman. Only an agent of a foreign military could do this, or a trans person. Like, this is their Tuesday. But it's like, you know, they basically were saying Israel have done this because I don't know, was he against Israel or something? I can't keep up with those fucking idiots. But And I was like, that's I said to Jen, I was like, this is like, I think they're probably right now. Like an expert marksman is the person who could do this. Unfortunately for them, if you give an 8-year-old a sniper rifle and take him to a gun range every weekend for his entire life, you have created an expert marksman, you fucking numpty. What are you talking about? Like, video games are dangerous. Oh, movies are so dangerous, they're violent. Anyway, son, let's go down to the range and let you put a fucking 50 caliber bullet through a thing and a half a mile away. What do you think? With zero oversight at all. But no, that's not dangerous. Don't worry. And I know it's because of the money involved. But I just hate them lying. I wish they would just say it. Like, yeah, we don't fucking care. We don't care. I mean, actually, Donald Trump did say that. He was like, I don't care about people. Like, fuck, it's so strange. Thank fuck they don't have guns here. Although some of them do, which brings me on to Soldier F being on trial for his murders in Bloody Sunday, which is great news. That started on Monday. That's great to see. Hopefully more of them. I'm a big fan of people who murder unarmed protesters being found guilty of murder. So that will be class. That will be class to see if that happens, you know. Obviously there's people out there protesting that as well, because why not? Ant Middleton gets his little piece in about that. Fuck him. Fuck them all. What else was? Oh, I tell you what is class, and this is where, you know, I was talking about the best of England, the best of Ireland. The best of Ireland is being seen right now in the TV show Traitors Ireland, which so I've never watched Traitors before. I obviously have heard about it. I know what it is, but the idea of watching a TV show with a load of English people in a room every week, I'm like, fucking, I can get that at home. Do you know what I mean? And I do like them. I like being here. I like English people in general. But, like, come on. I've seen enough. I've seen Big Brother enough. I don't need it. Now, tell me that show's being made in Ireland. I'm going to watch that, because you know it's going to be completely unhinged. You know it is. And that is it. I started watching it last week, and I watched all 6 episodes in one day. They had picked the Traitors. One was a guard, like our cop, and another was a prison warden. And you know, if you have an idea in your head of, like, I wonder what they're like in an interrogation, wonder no more. They go at each other in the classic Irish men way, which is they start, you know, they've obviously watched enough or been told to say, like, the classic reality TV show of, like, will we have a chat, you know, we should talk about our how we're going to play the game here. And that's how their talks started. And within 30 seconds, they're squaring up to each other, calling each other cunts. Get thick. It's so good. Oh, it's brilliant. The prison the prison guy's name's Paddy. They tried to get him out. The 2 other traitors tried to manufacture him getting out. He beats them both, gets them both out, blackmails his own son. It's class. Basically tells everyone there that he is a traitor. None of them vote for him. It's wonderful. Wonderful. It's on the RTE player. You got to do it. I was like, never mind Conor McGregor. Get Paddy for president, you know? He'll be terrible. A terrible, terrible president. But put him in front of Donald Trump, and I guarantee you he will not be able to avoid calling him an absolute shite-hawk, which is a word you don't hear enough, as far as I'm concerned. It's so much fun. And look, that's it. I'm going to keep it tight today. The last one was too long. So thanks for listening again. Give us a shout on Instagram, John M Comedy. Please rate the show, like it, do comments. And the Patreon's live. Like I say, the Rosie Holt episode will be up there by the weekend, and then it'll be live next week. And I'll just keep putting them out like that. We won't have guests every week, but if there's anyone that you want to hear, give us a shout, because, like, especially in comedy, we can get probably a lot of people. Like, And that's it. Have a great week. Keep safe. Don't be fucking painting roundabouts and shouting at hotels. In fact, do. Shouting at buildings, I'm like, you know what? If you're doing that, you're not doing anything else, you know? I think if you're shouting at buildings, there's a family not being abused at home. Oh, that's terrible, but great as well, to be fair. Right. I'll chat to you again. Good luck. Goodbye.